All right. We are live here. C1x Development Day 21. Initially, I was thinking that number 19 was going to be our last stream for finishing up the alpha version of the app, but had a few remaining tasks that had taken me quite a bit longer than I thought they were going to. I think the last two streams have been a couple of my longest too. I think one of them was at least 2, maybe pushing 3 hours. Things that are important, things that needed to be done. Just underestimated on my end for how long I thought they were going to take. In fairness, I changed them too. One of the tasks was just to copy over that round display view to round finished, and if you saw that last stream, I think it was last stream, maybe that was 2 streams ago, I instead made it so that I can use the same view, same block of code for both of those views with some minor modifications, and yeah, that took a while. Now we're working on stat persistence and all-time stats, just so I'm not... I've already got an error. Oh, man. All right. Let's see what's going on here. All-around calculations. It is already bugging here. Number 52. Int is not a subtype of list. List dynamic. When I go to all stats, if all stats is not empty. Wasn't expecting to just start right off the bat with a bug, but that's where we're at. I've introduced some issues for sure with this all-time statistics. All stats 105. Int is not. I am confused. I'm gonna reset that in case I still have. So I'm getting this error right here. Okay. Stat persistence 29. When is this even getting called? Save all time stats? I'm not calling that on the app launch, am I? Am I calling it at all? I am. Okay. Load all time stats. And then in stat persistence, I think that function is in here, right? Yep, load all time stats. Container read. Update stats, and then when I do update, I'm running save all time. Okay. So that's where this issue is happening. I'm just passing new stats to it. Print new value. Let's see what I'm getting here. Number 18. It's giving me an error literally on the print statement, which is unusual. So it must be, instead of here, let's go, where are we at for update? On load all time stats, reject that. Current all time stats. Let's refresh here. Now I should get an output at least. Still not getting, it's literally the print statement. I don't know how this is why the error is following around my print statement, but it is. So right now on the main app launch, I am loading all time stats. Current all time stats is equal to get the string for the save. Here I think we need to do a if all time stats save is not equal, or no. Maybe like so. All right, that did not fix it. Still getting an error at 60. What happens when I take the print statement out then? What line am I getting the error on? 29. So it's, I'm so confused though, because it's still this, but it won't let me print out to see what that is, because every time I add the print statement, it doesn't run. It does not run. Print. Testing. Let's just print a string and just see if that's... Okay, so testing ran there. But if I try to throw it here and go current all-time stats, I don't get the printout anymore. And my error is now on the print statement line. Why? So it's the cast. The cast is, I'm being stupid. Exception type integer is not a subtype. Type list dynamic. All right, we're gonna go straight to ChatGPT today. I have two Safaris open. I do. All right, close that out. New chat here. All right. So in the below line of code, I'm trying to, let's say block of code. I'll copy the whole function. Block of code. I'm trying to read the all-time stats I want to persist in my new app. If they don't exist yet, I want to skip the rest of the code. However, I'm getting this error on the line where I read from the shared preferences. All right, and then we'll copy block of code here. Let's get rid of this. Don't need it to ask about the print statement. That goes here. And then my error will go there. But each item is not an integer. That's my issue. Okay. Give me that print statement back. And then let's try this, so not casting it just as a list. Okay, so now I do get it. Okay. And then if I go to stats, now why is it doing this? God dang it. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was a code thing or not. Let's run the app one more time. The consistent sign in with Apple requests. Get strings, list dynamic, print testing. If current all-time stats is not equal. Container read. Maybe I thought that was the issue, but it's not, so maybe I can just do this. Go back to the original code, remove the cast item. Maybe that's gonna fix it. All right, didn't prompt me a bunch of times, good. I'm getting the testing. If I go to stats, I don't get an error. Okay. The asset, that's not an issue. So I think right now that this is working as intended. I have my stats. And then we created our list of things still to add at the end, which is going to start here. So implement the all-time stats being saved into the all stats view. I think meaning just that I was actually showing them on this view, because I am saving on our round scorecard view. Yeah, I do save it there. All-time stats. And we update it. And so I need to make sure that in the all stats view, when it is all time, that's actually what I'm reading. So here we've got all time stats. Let's go. I'm gonna refresh this, but I'm gonna hide the decoration first, just because the this asset error down below is causing me issues. It's preventing me from seeing my actual printout. So I get testing. Now if I go to stats, I get the all-time stats printout. I get formatted stats, which is great. That's really probably not the all-time stats. Like so. And then if let's think about this here. Formatted stats, and then I have stats holder. Every time one is changed, I'm recalculating. Okay, which makes sense. Percentage and total, this doesn't really matter, but I have up here this segment and control. This is what we need to adjust. Selected time frame is equal to 0, else if it's equal to 1. And so instead here we're going to go stats holder is equal to formatted all time stats. Undefined. It is undefined. I can't throw it in this if statement, I don't think. So I think we've got to go list string formatted stats, formatted all time stats is equal to this. Let's just make it description. I don't want it to be description here. That's fine. All right, we're going to get rid of this. If all time stats is not empty, formatted stats is equal to this, yes, else formatted all time stats. I don't need the else statement. And I don't need this. And so that should get rid of my error down here. Print formatted all time stats, just to make sure that I am actually showing the right data here. Go to reset, go to the all time stats. So the idea is that anytime, and this will be true if I change these 5 and 20, or if I add another time period, whatever. But last 5 rounds, last 20 rounds, and then when you click, and those are going to calculate every time, because the app is going to always work simply enough that it's never going to take that long for it to run through calculations for 20 rounds. But all time it might. So now here, instead, we're going to show our all-time stats that we've built out. I think right now what I need to do is, in addition to my erasing down here, I need to delete the all-time stats. Just because I need to verify that that's working and it's got some data from previous test runs. So on stat persistence to load it, I need to remove the shared preference. I have a erase all time stats. Erase all time stats. Okay, so not here. We'll go up here. Erase all time stats. Container's not going to work, is it? Okay, fine then. We'll do it up here. Erase all time stats. Ref. And then I'll read it. That's not even gonna work because I'm loading it in much sooner. Load course information. Do I have a ref here? I don't think so. I think it's container. I need to run it once. So ultimately I can leave this line of code in. It'll get erased there. If I go to stats now, I might get an error. No, I didn't. It just didn't show anything. Okay, perfect. Shows me that the erase function worked. So comment that out for the moment. So all time stats has been erased. If I refresh, I still should not get an error, but testing is blank now, which is good. So again, working as intended because I erased them, but it is now working in the all stats view. We're pulling it from the right variable instead of recalculating it every time, so this is good. All time stats need to be initially calculated with the example round. They do. They do. Which I would love to do on the first app launch. Load all time stats. Can we accomplish that in here? I think we probably can. Scoring options. I'll probably need to let's go to scorecard, import a new variable. But I essentially want to do this. It's, if current all-time stats is empty, else print empty. Let me make sure that is empty is actually going to work here. Empty printout, perfect. Okay. So if it's empty, I'm going to have to do some calculating here. If it's not empty, we're going to do this, get rid of this. I don't know if that's going to work. It's not. I don't think this is the right place to do this, actually. So let's get rid of that if statement. That's fine. Let's do this on the main menu instead. So where I have, do I have anything with all-time stats on here? I don't. All right, so let's go final. I can do this down below just so I'm not impacting anything. Final all-time stats. Yes, if all-time stats is empty. Let me make sure it's working here as well before I implement code. 2 empties. 2 more empties. Okay. So it's working. So if it's empty, then I need to do this. New all-time stats is equal to add totals, and then I can do this. And I'll need to go update what these actual variables are, but should be easily done. If it's empty, I'm going to set the app up to where there's always do I need to do that actually? Does that actually make sense? I don't think it does. Because what I could do instead, what I'm trying to do right now is make it so that when the user first launches the app, they haven't scored a round yet. I'm going to have an example round for them to look at. And then I was trying to set up here that the all-time stats would then display the information from that example round. I think instead what I'm going to have it do is just say, you haven't scored a round in the app yet. That's way better, right? That makes way more sense. I agree. All stats. Time frame, formatted all time stats. So that should be empty. Stats, all time stats is going to be empty in this instance. So we go down to our all stats view, and instead of showing all of the stats, I want it to rounds included, expanded list view for each stat, icon button, dismiss, text stat holder. Yeah. So let's go if time frame is equal to, is time frame a string here? It is. All time. And all, no, not the right symbol, and all time stats is empty. We're going to print, or no, not print, text. Score a round in the app to view your all-time stats. Const 30. Else. And then here I need to take the whole expanded and copy it into this. So let's refresh that. All-time stats still should be empty, so hopefully this is going to work as intended. And I still am okay with these two showing the information from that example round. Whoa. Okay, so I think what I actually want to do is keep this within the expanded. I already copied it, so let's, yeah, this is fine. Children. And then we'll throw this in here. And then the for loop will go inside of that else statement, the row 2. Gotta go one outside the row. Yeah. So I think that should fix. Yeah, there we go. Let's wrap this in a padding. All right, and then rounds included, that is one I need to update here. Where's rounds included coming from? That'll be the real question. Round ID's length. So I'm gonna have to adjust that anyways. If it's less than you have not played, it's equal to you have not played, it's equal to all time rounds included. So here we'll just add a and all time stats is not empty. So that'll make that go away when that's blank. Perfect. Okay, so that's good. Now I don't want all time stats to be calculated with the example round, so that's good. Implement override of example round with first round added to the app, including all time stat calculations. Okay. So in our all rounds view, I'm just going to change the title of this to example round. I can adjust the details later. That's not a problem. Nope, nope, nope. All right, so we're calling it example round. The only thing I need to do then is, well, I'm giving the round IDs a number. I should probably just make this extremely large. Round scorecard, when I'm done with the round, I'm saving it with handle round finished, which runs down here, right? Handle round finished, save round to JSON, save scorecard information, which save round to JSON, is that in here? It is. I'm doing the last index. It's always just going to be +1. So I guess what I'm getting at here is to make sure that I can identify in my code what the example round is. I think I'm just going to make this 10 nines, because no one's ever going to score that many rounds in the app. Obviously, I can make it a smaller number, but it's really easy for me to make it bigger and not run into any crazy issues down the road. So 10 nines on the round scorecard when I am. So the way to do this actually is just in the saving a round. Well, no, because I'm going to update the. All of that's done. All of that is done in this save around function, because I'm updating the providers too that read it all. Save scorecard information, which doesn't matter. Right? What save scorecard information. Why am I saving that? Is that just so I can load it on the main menu? Is that the point here? It is. Load current round. I am still saving scorecard information elsewhere, right? No, I'm not. Oh, if current hold is over, I am. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. I guess why am I saving it here? It doesn't hurt anything, I suppose. Okay, we'll leave it as is for now. But on the save around, so what I want to do is when the user scores their first round in the app, overwrite the example round with that data instead of just adding to it. So we're going to do this. This code all works fine still. This does not work fine. We got to add a if rounds 0 round ID is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. last index is equal to 1. All right, and then we're adding it here for rounds. So if I basically just have to use that same statement again here. If this, else, this all will go under else because we're not going to overwrite the first round. But if I am overwriting it, then, well, actually, better way to do this. I'm just not going to add it at all, right? If rounds 0.roundID is less than that, code. There we go. Odd. Okay. Is that going to work as intended? So if it's the first round that they're scoring, then this is going to evaluate to true. Last index is equal to 1. For each round, this is not going to be true for any of them, so it's going to skip all these. It is only going to add the new round. If there's a number of rounds in the app, this will evaluate to false. So last index is going to get its correct value. For every round that they have scored, the round IDs are all going to be equal to, or less than this. And they'll all get added. Yep. Yes. I think this works. And that'll update all of the scoring information. So let's update the app here. Example round, 2 under. So now if I start a round, the hope is that this example round is not going to show up on the screen now. Yeah, perfect. Stats is still not crazy. All-time stats is updating with the correct values. C1x putting, there was no putting, which is fine because they were all just throw-ins. Cool. Huh. So overriding works now. I can adjust the example round later, but we are at least overriding it with the first round. I should have a description on the menu of like, this is an example round, and we will. That'll probably be on the initial tutorial though that I add, which is fine. Yeah. Okay. So we're done with the 2 big things that I had on here. I'm trying to think if there's any other changes I need to make to accommodate the all-time statistics updating. Let's go throw another round in and make sure that they are working. Interestingly, the other two are not working right now. All time stats is working. It also just overwrote this round. Did I reset the app? I reset the app, didn't I? I'm not resetting the all-time stats, but I did reset the app, so I only have the one round in here because this was example round. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. I think it's there. Deleting a round when someone ever goes and hits this button, I will need to. Yeah, that caused issues, which fixing that bug was on my to-do list. I will need to update the all-time stats then. And there's not really a good way around that, I don't think. I'll just have to recalculate them all. But that's what I'll have to do if the user wants to delete rounds. So I think this is good. I think the all-time stats is done, and I did finish the combination of the round display and round finished views, just being one file now. There is a whole bunch of like code cleanup and deleting files that I'll need to go do too before launch. I'll probably end up having at least one stream just dedicated towards those. But we're still, probably a couple months away from a launch at least. We're not that far away though from testing, so I don't need to fix those just for the initial round of testing. Let's go fix this bug with deleting rounds. We can do that next. So I hit reset. We're back to example rounds. On my round saving, is this where I gotta find that delete function? Not in save round to JSON. Maybe I did it in the round display view. No, not in round display view. Not here. The round display view has the button though. Delete round, ref index. What other files am I importing? Round providers, course loading, round loading. It's not in round loading though, right? Oh no, it is. It just looked like the same function as the one I had above. Okay, so personal rounds, the error that I am getting, I guess for starters, let's say they have the example round up. I need to make sure that there's always a round in the app. I do want to make sure that that's working as intended. So I need the example round data. So let's go to my all rounds view and just copy this essentially. Back to round loading. Test round. Oh, so I did already kind of have this here. If it's greater than 1, then perfect. If it's not, so I did already have this code in there, which is awesome. Example round is going to be this. Round parse. Distances. So right now I'm making it so that if the user only has one round in the app and they try to delete it, this is just going to re-add that example round back in. So there's always some type of round shown in the app. So I can delete this. So if, let's do a refresh. I'm going to add the note here just so I don't forget it. Recalculate all time stats when a round is deleted. All right, so now we're back to here. So if I go delete this, we should just get the same round. And I did not get an error. Still works just fine. If I don't do that, if I add a round, and then I try to delete this one, then I get an error. Unhandled exception on round loading at 91. All right. This might be a array dimensional issue, but on the below line of code, I'm getting the following error. And then give me this. It is. Okay, so this is a new round parse. Let's I'm gonna comment it out, and it doesn't like that. Copy your fix suggestion. Correct. Correct. This round parse like that is single row list in a new parse. You should use add, not add all. Okay. And then I think I'm going to want to do the exact same thing for all of these. New round distances. Add all from rounds round distances. I want to do it for user whole scores. User whole score, user whole scores. User scores is string. Oh, I don't want to open that. What about the below line code? New shot data is initialized as follows. And round shot data will be a list string. This line is correct in terms of logic. Okay, so I think it was just those three then that I needed to fix. Okay. So now let's refresh it and let's try this again. I'm gonna get the example round. If I delete this, we should just re-have the example round, which is great. Definitely need a confirmation. Confirm with the user before deleting a round. Okay. If I go do this, I get easy. If I go delete this, we should have the example round, which we do, but I did still get an error. Only valid value is 0. I'm getting -1 on the round display view. Okay. Which tells me that the delete function is probably working properly, but it doesn't like this. And I think then it's probably just a question of how does the delete function work. So I'm running the below code to delete a round. I need to make sure that I am popped back to the main menu before the delete completes. Can I just swap the order? Okay, so if I pop it, it will still run the rest of the code. And I think by doing this, because my concern is this line of code is what the back button is doing, just kicking us back to the main menu. And then this is obviously the line of code to delete the round. I'm concerned that if I pop back to the original view that it's not going to finish running the rest of the code, but it seems like it will. So let's run through this sequence again. Oh, I did still get an error here. Only valid value is 0 on 275. How does that work? When am I getting that error? I didn't get it there. And those are the exact same buttons that I just hit. Still getting an error. I don't think delete round is asynchronous. Round loading. Oh, it is. Round display. Can I do the, is this how it works? Or is it like that? All right, now what if I do this? I don't know if that's actually going to fix anything. Still getting an error here. Scoring management round scorecard 275. That should never happen. I'm gonna have to take a second look at that one. Zero, -1. Yeah, but you don't tell me where the error is coming from. Downloading? No. Just don't get the error. Okay. Now I'm getting one. No, this is still the same thing. Dang it. Well, I'm trying this. However, still get the below error indicating that values are being changed on the round display view, the view I'm popping from, before it is removed from the stack. I feel like I've had this exact same issue here. Okay, let's try this. See if that gets rid of this error when I'm deleting rounds. Future delayed. It's an interesting one I've used previously. All right, so example round, that's fine. Start round, easy. No error that time even. All right, now delete. Still getting an error. Still getting the exact same error. That didn't work, so let's try this. Is a button press. Copy the below code. Now let's refresh again. See once again if that fixed it. Because it seems like the delete is working fine. I'm still getting an error that may not be experienced by the user, but is something that's gonna annoy me. Start round, easy, throw ends, and then delete round. Still the same error. I'm still getting the exact same error. Okay. that what I basically what I had previously? Copy the URL. I think it's still going to give me the same issue. I think easy, throw-ins, delete. And it's still no, it's definitely dismissing this. Because it's given me the error on, what was it, 88, which is number of rows. So here let's go a round parse if round index is less than round parse dot length. Like if I do that, I think it's going to get rid of number of rows equal to 0. Let's just do that. See what that gives me. This works fine. Start round easy. Throw-ins work fine. If I delete a round, still number 90. How does that? Round index is -1. How is round index -1? Oh, because the index of What if I undo this, and then instead up here we do a if round IDs dot contains round index, or no, sorry, round ID on display. It's 0. If it contains it, then round index goes here, and we get rid of this. Now let's refresh it. Returning a -1 because the index of no longer existed once I delete it. So this is still going to work fine. We'll go scroll the round. Display is fine. If I delete it, no errors. Okay. So now I think that's working. Let's do let's score 2 rounds here. What if I hit delete right here? Ah, okay. So I can't do that from the round finish view, but I don't want to show it from the round finish view. I don't think. Round scorecard is crashing. Because delete needs to do the same thing as the back button on round display. Let me try this real quick. See if this is an easy fix. Because we changed the back button when we combined the round finished and round display views. So that same back button needs to instead be this. Now let's hit refresh. So we're getting the error now only when I try to delete the round right after finishing it. Still got an error, but it didn't work. But now what is the error? I don't like that it's not printing it. Reset this. Start, confirm, throw in. I'm getting this error again, which makes no sense. 274. Set state. How is this? I'm not even tapping a button. How is that giving me an error? Reset it again. Did I change a line of code? Score it. No error that time though. If I delete the round, I am getting the error around scorecard 230. Only valid value is 0. 5 is what I'm getting because when I go to the round display, I'm erasing it. But if that, why don't I get that error then when I hit the back button to begin with? Or was I? I don't think I was. What if I score the round and then instead of deleting it, I just hit the back button because it's the same effect on the navigation stack. No error. But if I score it and delete it, error. Zero. It's trying to pass 5. Only when I delete though. That makes no sense. What am I doing when I hit the back button? Just this. And so I'm doing the same thing here. I'm not deleting it until after the fact. Like, I guess what if, surely if I comment this out, the buttons do the exact same thing and I don't get an error, right? Surely. Yeah. But if I delete it, I don't understand how that would affect this line of code though. Like, I'm not changing the whole parse. I'm erasing the round once it's pushed, but I guess because what I'm calling or I'm adjusting variables that are being read here. That's what the issue is. Like what if I delete that line? I assume that still is going to give me the same bug. It's a weird one. It worked that time. It did seem like there might be a bug here when I'm scoring multiple rounds though. So we got easy. Now I'm scoring easy again. We have 2 of them. If I delete one, it's getting changed to example round. So that delete function is not quite working as intended. Let's go to round loading. Delete round. Have I not finished saving it yet? Is that what the issue is? I don't know. The saving is working. New round courses. Insert 0 new round. Save it here. Return last index. On the round scorecard, am I handling that? Round ID. Handle round finished. Round ID on display. Ooh. I might have missed something there. Because I need to update the new index. That's why I'm returning that value. But I'm not actually doing anything with it. I don't think. Round ID on display. Do I update it in here? Last index. What else do I do with the last index? Nothing. I don't do anything with it. That's not good. Well, no, I don't need to. I don't need to because I'm because I'm doing it here. So why is the delete not working then? All right, let me reset it again so I can watch the output here. All right, rounds is going to print both of them with the correct round IDs. We have 2 and 1. So this print is correct. Rounds length should be 2. What is this? Why is example round there? If rounds length is greater than 1. Oh, I'm saving it first. That's why. I'm saving the round. So I've already added, when I do this delete, well, no, hold on. When I save the round, I'm checking if it's the example round and then I'm overwriting it. am I not? What am I confused about here? I never overwrote the save, did I? I think I decided I didn't need to because of this. I add the course. Because I'm still writing it here. So I think this needs to have a if this is equal to that. We need to go, this needs to go above it. If we are including the example round, then final rounds remove at 0. Why am I saving? What is final rounds? Where am I using final rounds at? Just here, right? Those are the only 2 spots. Like if that's not what I'm saving here, then what am I doing? I'm just resaving rounds. I totally am. Should this not be final rounds? Let me reset it. See what I'm doing there. Start round, easy. Easy. So I've got 2 easies. If I delete one, I'm still getting the example round. On round loading, but if I print the rounds, I can see, I still see the example round. That's so confusing. Round's length is greater than 1, so that should never be running. I don't understand what the issue is here. Haven't figured it out yet. I'm printing the rounds. I can clearly see that it has a length of at least 2. It still has the example course, which I don't understand. On save rounds, I guess let me print it here. Print new round courses. No, I do not want all of those. Come on. Print final rounds. All right, and then I need to do something similar on this delete round because I don't like this. So let's go print save new courses, print save new rounds. Let's do all of this. I've got some other print statements in here that I do not want. Oh, I don't quite know where they're at though. Easy. Round loading is being run here. Save round, final rounds, okay. So new round courses is equal to easy, which is correct. Final rounds is not correct. I removed it at 0. Come on. Come on. That's what I meant to do. All right, let's hit reset again. Example round. Why did I immediately get an error? Go away, don't give me an error. Easy, score. All right, we do this again. If I delete one, I just have one easy, okay. If I delete this one, we should have example round. Okay. Now what if I add a 1? And then I add another one and I try to immediately delete the second one. No errors, we have one easy. Okay. This seems to be working now. Working as intended. No errors. Go back. Let me delete the easy one here. That was what I was concerned about. It's deleting the wrong one. Save new round courses, not the right one here. So new round courses for rounds length, that one. If round is equal to round ID. Oh, that just doesn't work. I think it needs to be like this. All right, let's try that again. Do it within the two courses. I was checking just the value in the for loop and not the actual round ID that was saved. So we'll score an easy one. Then we'll score one at the fort. Now if I delete the easy one, we just have the fort left. Perfect. Okay, so that's fixed. I think deleting rounds is all fixed now. This is, I don't know what this range error is. What error is it trying to give me, dude? It seems like the same scoring error on the scorecard, which I don't understand. Zero to 17. It's the same line. And I don't know. It's based off of, like, it's popping an error on a view that I'm no longer showing. And I don't understand why that is. Something about it still showing in the background, but it's causing the app to load. But when I hit that last button, is there something about me like clicking the button again really fast? Like, because I don't think I ever get it going slowly, right? Clicking the button on hole 18 really fast is what I'm getting at. Yeah. It's like, I think if I manage to click the button again really quickly at the end, shot data has been erased, but it's not. All right, I'm ignoring that error because that's something that a user won't experience on their phone ever. I've had that issue previously. It's just with the simulators. Okay, so that error is gone. We fixed the bug. We can now delete rounds properly. Confirm with the user before deleting a round. We can do that one real quick. Round display on button. So we're just going to add a bool up here. Var is delete round pressed equals false. If is delete round pressed, then we'll do this. Else. Maybe I want to do a pop over here. I think I do actually. On pressed, I want to show a dialog. You go grab the info buttons here. Do I have info buttons on this one? Up in the top right. This show dialog. It's not it. Inside of the on pressed. Is it just here? No. Blue parentheses. This one. Show dialog. So we're going to copy that. Let's go down to the delete button. So on pressed instead, I want to show this dialog. And then text is, are you sure you want to delete this round? We'll say permanently delete this round. And then actions, this needs to be a, let's wrap it in a column. I want 2 of these buttons. We'll use the centers here. Cancel. Instead of stat info context, we'll call it delete round context and delete round set state. So if we're canceling, we're delete round context, confirm. We'll just make it say delete right now. And then here I want to pop this. Where do I have to do the... Shoot, wasn't on the scorecard. This is what I want. We'll see if this works. Delete round context. And I can do this, 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 this. Erase current round. Where did I just, was that on the scorecard? I have an erase. Yeah, okay. So this is going to be delete round with the ref, and what round ID was I showing? Dang it. I'm not gonna go pull that up again. Let's go over here. Let's go. I don't even want to think about what the right variable was to show. I'm just going to pull it up and copy and paste it from my recent save here. Round display. Display. On delete. It's round index. So now let's give this a refresh. See if this is working as intended. I clearly didn't do anything. Did I not? No, I never showed this. Oh, because I never actually copied the right code over. Jeez, Dylan, come on now. Come on now. We're not pushing. We're doing this. And then we are doing this. All right, reset. Now delete. Cancel, it just hides it. If we hit delete, back to the main menu, that seems to have worked. Let's go easy. Delete. Okay, do one final check here. And then we'll do the fort. Yeah. Go back and then we'll delete easy. Okay. Good, so now we're confirming with the user they actually want to delete a round. That functionality is in there. We need to recalculate all time stats when a round is deleted. Let's go do that real quick. That shouldn't be too hard. To calculate all time stats. Let's go to the all stats view. Stats holder is going to be calculate stats holder. I don't want it to be that. I need to update all time stats. Stat persistence. How am I calculating it currently? I'm adding to it after each one. So I think I'd need to take the code for this here. And then let's go to my deleting a round, which is under round loading here. So after I've deleted a round, I have all of this information. Instead of this, new all-time stats, add stat totals. Yeah, I'm going to need all of these, which is under stat keeping, stat persistence. Then we're going to go down here. If it's an example round, I don't want to delete it. All-time stats needs to be blank then. Is that happening automatically? Like if I delete this and we get the example round and I go to all-time stats. Interesting. All right, so we do need to reset it here too. Let me grab this. Okay. So we're going to reset the all-time stats if they're deleting their last round in the app. Here we need a what does add stat totals get me? Dynamic list. It's equal to list dynamic empty bracket. All right, so for var round equals 0, round is less than courses dot length round plus plus new round courses, because that's going to have the correct list of them now. All right, add stat totals. If round is equal to 0, new all-time stats is equal to add stat, or no, so all-time stats is equal to add stat totals, current totals and new round stats. So current totals am going to run into issues there. What happens when I have just the example round and I'm scoring? Like, what is all-time stats is just a blank array then, right? Stat persistence, update stats, save all-time stats, add stat totals. Oh, so that function already accounts for if it's blank. Okay, good to verify that though. Add stat totals, current totals can be just all-time stats, and the new round stats is going to be the single round calculation. So I need to implement that, import that package as well, stat keeping and single round calculations, so that I can use that function. Else. I don't really need to account for 0 actually, do I? I'm just always going to add the stat totals, because that'll already return the list. I don't think I need if round is equal to 0. I don't think that's going to change anything. This is going to be single round calculations. All right, so pars is going to be new round pars round, new round distances, new user whole scores round, new round course difficulties, user score. I have new user scores and shot data. Okay, so now, and then I need to update the actual variable like so with all time stats. All right, so now every time a round is deleted, we will be updating the stats. If it's their only round, then we're resetting the stats. So that should be good. Let's do a run through, make sure that that's working as intended. All right, so example round, all time stats should be nothing. It is not. I need to erase the all time stats first. Before I test this, let's go up here, uncomment this line, let's run the code. Great. So now all time stats is going to be empty. Let's comment it again. All right, empty right now. Let's add 2 rounds. We'll do easy. Let's mix a birdie in there. All right, so we have 2 rounds. All time stats is showing the correct information. Now if I delete the all birdies, delete's not working now. Why is that not working? The delete just didn't do anything. The round information is still there. What was that? This is a new one. Print round ID, round ID deleted. Print new round courses. Literally the very last suggestion. Oh. Alright, so I have the 2. If I go delete the one with the birdie, it still shows new round courses did not get rid of it. Interesting. Data is equal to passing the ID. No, where's it at? To delete. So this did not get run. Round ID. Round ID. Print rounds. I don't know what the issue was there. Let's do it again. Start round, easy. Just fine. Now if I go delete the birdie one, delete. Round ID is equal to 0. Why is round ID equal to 0? Round index. If round IDs contains, does it contain it? What are my actual round IDs here? 2 and 1, right? 2 and 1. If round IDs round ID on display is not getting what happens when you tap the button on the main menu here? It's outline button. Okay, so that clearly is not working. This line is the issue, something that I needed to update now that I'm actually changing what the round IDs are. No, I don't. This should be working. That's not working, but it should be. Print round IDs, and then let's go down to the outline button. Print round ID on display. Then I actually go print the, come on. $0.999. Okay, so that's the right value. If I start here, round IDs on display is equal to 1. Round ID is equal to 1. Okay. Round ID is equal to 2 and 1. Round ID on display is equal to 2. And if I click here, round ID on display is equal to 2. on my round display view, somehow the wrong value is getting passed somewhere, and that is making it so when I delete it, it's not actually deleting the round because it can't find it. Print holes to display, print. That's the only print I have here. Ref watch, round index, round IDs. Contains round ID on display. Print contained. Contained 2. So round index is equal to, I'm doing the index of. This needs to just be it's equal to the round ID on display. That should fix the issue. I'm going to refresh it again to get rid of that error output. So now we're going to go easy, all aces. This was correct. I need to pass this value and not round index when I'm deleting. That's my issue. Want to permanently delete the round. Here we need to pass that value. Nope. Round ID on display. Okay. Refresh again, get rid of the error output. This should have fixed the issue. So we're going to go easy, we're going to go all aces, and then we're going to go one birdie. Okay, and now if we delete, so my all-time stats, oh, they're going to total. Let's reset them. I want to make sure I'm looking at the right data here. Dang it. Forgetting about this. I've got to call this function so I can erase the all-time stats and make sure that they're actually updating. I guess I could have just, it's supposed to auto-calculate anyways. All right, so they should be deleted now. Hopefully last take here. Stats, all time, good. Okay, start around. So here we've got all aces now. Now we've got our one birdie for all time. Yep. And now if I go delete the one birdie, deleted the correct round. If I tap this, I do still get the right data. This works, this works, this works. All right, so after all that effort, now we are recalculating all-time stats when a round is deleted. It doesn't feel like it because of how much of a headache all of these recent things have been. And I guess not rightfully so, but I don't think I'm doing the most efficient job of fixing them. But now that the delete round is fully fixed, I think we're about there. I think. Let's act like we are for a sec. Let me refresh here. And then we are going to go comment all of these out. So we're no longer going to delete the course list or the round list on each app launch. We are still doing it with the global list just because that way I can update it with each app update. But now if I go score around, say easy, and we log our aces, and if I reset the app now, we're still going to have our easy course in here. We're no longer resetting to the example round. I can go delete it, and then that's obviously not the case anymore. Now I can reset it, and we're back to example round. Okay. Good. Good. Example round has 12 holes. Yes. Okay. So those should be showing 12. All right. So the only things I have left on my list for an initial run of testing are updating the first round in the app. So updating this example round to, which I mean, it's already pretty close, but to be a full, example round. Probably make it a full 18-hole course. Change some of the information. That's already close. That would be quick. And then it's just info buttons explaining what the stats are. And the graphics on this view. Under style, right now in my round display graphics, I have these established. Okay, so I can call it the same thing. Let's go to the round display view, and let's find where I'm pulling one of those images here. Return scramble graphic. Image asset, yeah, okay, so we can copy this. Let's go to my help image right here. All right, so let's create an array for all of these so I can make the code implementation of this really easy. All graphic image names equals, this can be a final, fairway graphic, rough graphic, parked penalty graphic. Okay. These should really probably all be in their own structure, shouldn't they? Let's make it that way. Scoring information. Where do I have that at? Scoring options. This is what I wanted. Let's go back to my round display graphics. Let's add that up here. Round display graphics. Final. Is that how I was doing it here too? Scoring options, static const is what I was calling it. Okay, that's fine. Static const. Did that get to be a static const as well? Static final is what I was calling those. Okay, and then static final all graphic descriptions is equal to fairway, rough, C1, C2, parked, and penalty. Lovely. So now when I'm explaining these in the round display view up here, I can just run these all through a for loop instead of creating code for every single one of them. Drive landed in the fairway. Let's go. Yeah, this is fine. Drive landed in the rough. We'll say off the fairway to be clear. Circle 1, circle 2. These can be drive landed in because I think that's the only spot I'm using them right now. Circle 1, drive landed in circle 2. Drive was parked within 11 feet of the basket. Update the quotation marks here so I can use them for feet. There we go. All right, and drive landed in a penalty area. Right, and I think that is, because everything else is just numbers, so it's all so these actually, because I'm using them for the greens and regulation too. All right, so there's a few other graphics I want to add first. Round display. Where's that? Here we go. Round display. Rough information. So we've got driving header, all of the headers. Let's go up here then, stat graphics, and then we'll go back to my display here. Fairway graphics. All right, so static const driving header graphic. Driving header, yep. Static const GIR header graphic. GIR header, all right, static const C1 header graphic. Static C2 header graphic. Static const scramble header graphic. All right, then so I want these to include all of those as well. But actually I want them to be at the start. Driving header. Scramble header graphic. It's fine. Okay. So here we need driving header, greens and regulation header, C1, C2, scramble, and then we're in the fairway. GIR header, C1 header, C2 header, scramble, header. All right, where the tee shot landed. Green reached and regulation. Putting for birdie. C1 putts attempted. C2 putts attempted. Scramble. Scramble failed or successful. All right, this one will be in the fairway. This is off the fairway. And then these can just be circle 1, circle 2, parked, and penalty. OB, hazard, missed, Mando. Okay, I think that's an okay start. I'm gonna have to go update some variables, but this will be much easier down the road. Return, round, display, graphics, dot, parked graphic. Yeah. Maybe I can just go copy this here. Okay. Empty graphic was still up here, right? Yeah. Keep going. This way I can use this in other views as well. Let's go to our round display. I'm going to have the same issue on a few of these. Display.empty graphic, fairway graphic. Yeah, that doesn't matter, else we're going to return this, which is good. Same thing here. Graphic. Okay, and then on my header, I want to use dot driving header graphic. GIR header. GIR header graphic. C1 header. C2 header. And I could definitely just iterate over all these on a for loop, which is what I should be doing. Penalty graphic. Okay, so now let's refresh and see if, make sure I have no issues here. No issues, and so now we can update this, what these graphics mean. So here we're going to go for var graphic equals 0, graphic is less than round, display graphics dot all graphic image names dot length. So we're going to then have a row here, children, main, axis alignment, center, and then we're going to throw the text inside of these along with an image. So we got the text. Tab, I need to paste an image here. We can use this. That's great. Round display graphics dot all graphic descriptions graphic. And then the text is going to be round display graphics dot all graphic descriptions graphic. This was wrong. All graphic image names. So if I refresh this, yeah, we can have a alert dialog. I can do a title graphics info. Let's do this. Definitely needs to be centered. Go away. Let's just do this instead. Graphics info. I'm gonna get rid of the font size here. Color is fine. Let's format that perfect. Can I get a font family? Lolita. I think that's what I called it in here. 1L. There we go. Stat info context. All right, so we're these are just a little bit expanded. Sized box, width 10. Here I want this to be able to go to the next. Overflow. Maybe that's not it. Max line. Will it let me do this? Max lines 2. I don't think it's actually going to show stuff over 2 lines though, as much as I would like for it to. Yeah. ChatGPT. Some of the descriptions are longer and need to wrap to a second line. How can I do this? See what this looks like. Where the tee shot landed. Center. What if I make it 3? And then I think the only thing I need to do here is, I think I can probably make this a little bit smaller. And then underneath each row, we can add a spacer. Even bigger than that, 30. Maybe I kick that back up to 20 then. Cross-axis alignment. Let's go to start here. So instead of these being in the center, I want them to align at the top, like this. It really doesn't look as good though, does it? No, okay. Let's get rid of that. I still feel like maybe they're too close to each other. I don't know, maybe that's just, yeah, that is excessive. 20 feels big. 17, how about 17? It's better. Okay, let's start. Graphics info. I'm going to call that good for right now. So we've got our explanations. We're explaining all the graphics. And then on the all stats view, these are all just description. And so I want to, I think I have a, let's go to that all stats view. Let me remind myself of what variable I'm iterating over there. Info, here we go. Stat, description, stat. Is that just up here? It is just up here, okay. Holes played, fairway hits parked. C1 putting C2, highest round rating. All right, so here I think I just need to go type these out. Total of holes played. Fairway hits. I'm just gonna put this up on the screen over here next to me so I can see them all as I'm typing. Hit fairways, holes played, parked, holes parked, holes played. Holes putting inside of C1 for birdie. Holes played. Holes putting inside of C2 for birdie. Holes played. C1x putts made. C1x putts attempted. (11 to 33 feet). C1 0 feet to 33 feet. Putts made. C1 putts attempted. C2 33 feet to 6 feet. Putts made. C2 putts attempted. Yeah. All right, and then we're on scrambles. So scrambles is going to be successful scrambles, holes where you were in the rough or penalty area on any shot and scored par or better versus attempted scrambles. Total, we'll call it total attempts. That's fine, I can always change these later. Total number of penalty strokes taken. Number of holes where a penalty stroke was taken. Number of holes played. Aces, holes played. Eagles, holes played. Birdies, holes played. Pars, holes played. Bogeys, holes played. Double bogeys and worse, holes played. Bounce back rate. Total is just going to be number of bogeys. Number of times you got a birdie or better after taking a bogey or worse. Number of bogeys or worse taken. Longest C1 makes streak. Most C1 putts made in a row. Most birdies in a row. Most holes in a row without a bogey or worse. C2 putts made minus C1 putts missed. Average putt length. Longest throw made into the basket. Total score to par, combining all rounds. Total distance of putts made during all holes. Average distance of shots going into the basket. Longest putt made basket. Average round rating of all rounds. Average rating of all rounds. And highest round rating. I do think for the for loop currently, I'm probably going to hide some of these. If we're stats holder dot length minus, how many do I want to hide? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus. I just don't want to show all of these extra ones right now, so I went and hid the question mark stats down at the bottom. I'll show them again just so we're here. All of these stats, I'm just not calculating them currently. So we are going to hide them for the time being, and that did not update. Why did it not update? Scroll around, icon button, stat descriptions, stats holder, stat descriptions is what I just updated. I guess I just created the variable, so I need to, or no, I didn't create the variable. I think that should have worked. Let's just go back real quick. Stats. There we go. Now they're all showing. Okay, so now we have stat descriptions. And the last thing is the example round. So let's go, we can go fix this real quick. This is going to be example round. Round date, let's make it today's date right now. 29th. Round location, Utah. We're gonna make it an all part 3 course. 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Get our 18 holes here. Let's just copy these 6. And then just throw them right here. I guess I probably shouldn't do it quite like that. All right, we'll do this. 1, 2, 1. This is going to be hard here. Trying to make it so it's just not the same 6 holes every time on that round display view. 1, 2, 3. Aren't you going to make it easy on me? Two, 3. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Round ID is good. This is going to become a -3. All right. User hole scores I'll need to update here as well, but then we should be good. So let me go. I'll make sure I'm reloading the right course in now. There we go. Example round, today's date, 3 under. Got our holes, stats. Okay. So we're done with the list. Certainly still a few things I think that need to be done before testing, so maybe we build that out now, and then we try to accomplish that in the last stream. First thing, implement tutorial messages in all key views, just like current version of Throw with the Pros. It's one thing to implement. What else? What else do we need? Asset error. Okay. I thought there was a new error, but it's the same asset one. Let's go hide those stats too from the round display view. I don't have it open yet. Round display and equals to display. Right here, -7. There we go. So now we're only showing the stats that we're calculating. Okay. All things are good enough for the moment. Certainly going to change once again, but implementing the starting hole make let's actually, for the moment, let's go out here on to add later. Let's go implement functionality for changing the starting hole. That's not something that would work currently, just because I haven't put in the code for it. I'm going to drag this to the top. Order changed. No, it wasn't. There we go. Super laggy. All right, it needs to go, no, stop right there. Okay, and then from the main menu, we're gonna hide that for right now. So starting hole, when I click on a button, I don't want to hide the row, or I want to hide the whole row currently. Starting hole is equal to starting hole, and I think I'm probably just setting that to 1, yeah. So if I hit refresh here, ooh, there's a bug to fix. Those should only be changing when it's... I see. I see the issue. So... on my button, load current round. If whole par's length is less than 2. I never hit confirm. But the second that I change the course and click out, it says resume. Because I'm changing the pars too. I mean, that makes sense, and I don't need to. I think I can just do this down here. That might be enough to fix the issue. Course selected is equal to courses for display index. So I can go course selected whole pars is equal to course pars selection. Right? That'll do the same thing. Alright, let me hit refresh again. Let's see if that addresses the issue I think I had here. Start round. Easy. Resume round. Okay, we're good now. There is no start a new round, but we can go in here. I have the delete round. Confirm. Yeah, alright, so no bug there. Fixed now. So I was trying to think of anything else that I need to be showing. I think that this is probably the extent of it for starting testing. I think that's it. I think we implement these tutorial messages. We get a test version out. And I am early, I think, on this. I just know that I was so late with Throw It to Pros on when I had anyone else use the app that I want to start earlier to start getting feedback. The challenge will be that the app is certainly still far from a finished product, and I would need to make sure that the beta testers are understanding of that. So maybe it's only a few people. I don't know. I don't know what the right idea is there. I'd probably ask ChatGPT for some general guidance on whether I should start beta testing yet. I want to. I want to start testing. I don't know if I should. An alternative option is that I put it into testing mode so that I can use it myself. I generate graphics from my rounds, and then I at least start to market them on social media with what the app looks like right now, so people know exactly what they're getting. I can also just, when I send the invite out for testing, say like, hey, this is what it looks like. This is what you're getting. If you're not interested, maybe we do that. So under development, let's throw a general task here, and we're just going to call it next steps. Implementing the tutorial messages is going to be the first item underneath that. This is just going to be to kind of give me my to-do list maybe for the next couple streams here. So once we've implemented the tutorial messages, we will have a, we'll say, clean up code and error messages. Push. I'm gonna have to remember too what all it takes to get the app launched on Google Play and Apple, because they were both a Google was a pain. Apple I'm more familiar with. They're not too bad for testing. Google was the absolute worst. But I think I can just push it to myself for right now. Take a couple screenshots on larger simulator of what the app looks like currently. Push the app to test flight for external testing and sharing with email list. Oh, what else? All right, so at this point the tutorials are in. I've cleaned up the code, so the app is ready to start testing. I'm gonna push the app to test flag for external testing, sharing with the email list. I need to actually let the testers know about it. Probably want to wait to do that until I know that it's ready though. So we'll test app on personal phone to make sure it is ready to share. Send out email newsletter to C1x group to start external. I need to do this first. Set up app for testing through Google Play as well. And then we'll send out newsletter to C1x group to start external testing, include graphics of current app along with what the goals of this testing period are. And once I have that, there will be a definite trade-off between deciding whether to focus on improving the appearance of the app first or adding new features. There's going to be a lot to do for sure. That's probably just me updating the to add later list. Once I start testing, maybe I should have a button here that's like add feedback and I can link to a Google form. I like that. Create simple Google form for users to submit feedback, then link to it in a new button on the support menu. And I'm going to drag that up to the top here, right under the tutorial messages. Try and make it fairly easy for testers to submit this if they don't want to email or do anything else. Right, and then to add later, we're going to have a ton of just appearance stuff. So I think everything I have right now is features. Yeah, so we're going to add a new task in here that is just appearance improvements, and we're going to go fill this out as well. Let me drag the simulator over here so I have it. Appearance improvements. Determine. Let's go download and create a structure for all custom fonts in the app. For all custom fonts in the app. We're going to go page backgrounds. Create custom button designs for use and implement throughout the app. Create and implement page background. So I'll just name the pages here. Main menu. We've got round display, all stats, settings. Let's go courses, all rounds. scorecard. I need my courses and preset courses, my courses, and preset courses. All right, and so then once to add later list, I'll probably get to it sooner than I have it listed here, but custom fonts, page backgrounds, custom buttons, that'll certainly start to give the app a more finished look once it's more than just black and white with the basic Flutter buttons on it. I think that's probably it for today. More or less got the app ready for testing. We'll do the tutorials, get this Google form linked, and then so probably these 3 tasks here. Well, I can probably do these 4 actually. These 4 I'll be doing in the next stream, I think. That'll be the goal. These 2 I will probably do off stream then. And then I can do both of these on stream as well, along with starting to work through some of this to add later stuff. So quite close. Once I have testing, one thing that I'm not thinking about currently that I probably should be, I want to have a single graphic in this app that I can use to display stats, and that's not something I have right now. Just like share on social media. I want to be able to take a screenshot of one screen and have that be a nice picture of the whole round. Doesn't need to be done just yet, but 100% something I need to figure out. And I do want it to be one screen. I don't want it to be 2 because I want it to be easy for other users to share as well. I eventually want to have a share button on it. It's got to take a screenshot of one thing, and obviously this scrolling is not going to make that work. Man, just now thinking of this, which is not great. That's going to be a pretty important part of, I think, the app growing, is that it's easy to share cool stats. All right, so to add later, round display view has to have a toggle at the top which turns on summary mode, and this view needs to take up a single screen and be shareable to social media, which means it probably needs to not show this information. So maybe it's just however I end up making this look. Need to have something like this. Maybe it's just that this goes on the bottom, and I find a intriguing way to display this, and this is what goes on top. I'm thinking, not frozen. All right, I'm changing this. I think this would be easier, but I think the correct approach is that update the way all graphics are shown for the round display view. Only show the stats. Let's go. Top of the page needs to be a round summary that can be shared with a single screenshot. Only show statistics that occurred and are relevant to the round, so i.e. not showing the ace stat if there were no aces. Determine more aesthetic means for displaying all round stats on the summary. Implement new summary graphics. So what I want to do is leave this here, what I have shown, but have this be at the bottom, and then move this information up top into a new display. That's what I need. Longest birdie streak is 2. Yeah, that's correct. C2 bonus, made one C1, made one C2 putt, missed one C1 putt. All right, I'm gonna have to figure that out. This is something that I don't think needs to be in there for the immediate round of testing, but needs to be in there real quick afterwards. So this is going to be something to figure out. I'm going to move this all the way to the top. This is very important. C1x needs to be very easily shareable on social media. I want people to be able to show their rounds to their friends with a single screenshot. I want to be able to post about single rounds with a single screenshot. This is top of list. And once I have that, then I can implement the share button to take a screenshot. What did I just move? That's not, come on. That is not the task that I just grabbed, is it? This is what I'm trying to grab. I just want to drop it. There we go. Okay. I'm going to need to do a little brainstorming on that. Probably won't do that brainstorming on stream, but we've got next tasks at least, and probably some of the most important ones. Now that we have the app built, we've got to get it into people's hands and make it so the app is easy and fun to share. Long stream today, but we completed the initial list. We have an app that's functional. Still some work to do, but good progress today. So I'm going to call it there. As always, thanks to anyone who finds this after the fact. Certainly going to keep the streams going. Hoping to have at least this in test mode on my phone by the end of this coming week. Sunday today, so we are definitely going to keep streaming and coding. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. I think I was pretty quiet today regardless.